Good morning and welcome to For the District. It's the podcast for Jackson-Madison County Schools. I'm Greg Hammond, Chief of Public Information. Joining me today is Mr. Chris Cherry. He's the FFA Advisor at Liberty Technology High School, where the students are learning a whole lot about careers in agriculture. We'll also visit with a pair of star students in the FFA program. More of that in a moment, but first, here's a reminder for the district. The JMCSS podcast is a production of the Jackson-Madison County School System in partnership with Forever Communications. You can listen to this episode and previous episodes right now at Radio 731 and Spotify. Mr. Cherry, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mr. Hammond. Thank you for having us, and thank you for speaking with me and my students.
So FFA, folks may not know what FFA stands for. So to kind of get the ground level of this conversation going, what does FFA stand for?
Well, FFA was started as the Future Farmers of America in 1928. And the way I compare that to my students, we're now the National FFA organization. The comparison I use is like KFC, is Kentucky Fried Chicken. But they offer more things than just fried chicken now. So in 1988, because there are so many careers in agriculture beyond just the farmer in the field, we've shortened that name to just be the National FFA organization to include all of those diverse careers.
Having taught at the high school level, I know extracurricular activities and clubs really provide students with buy-in. It's a way to get students to care. In your own words, talk about what the FFA program and other ag-based classes here at Liberty provide for students.
There's one thing I can brag on our classes is there are so many different ways within our organization and our curriculum for so many different students of different skill sets to succeed. When we talk about extracurriculars, it's threefold within our program. FFA, which is intracurricular, because students must be enrolled in an agriculture class to be a member. Also on that, Tennessee, we're very fortunate through the support of the Tennessee FFA Foundation and the Tennessee General Assembly. It should cost about $20 per student for students to be FFA members, but through the foundation and the General Assembly, every student in the state of Tennessee who's enrolled in an ag class gets to be an FFA member for free. The second part of that is I work with Madison County Extension, Mr. Kane Reeves, Ms. Kelsey Kuntz, and all of our students enrolled in agriculture classes here at Liberty are also members of Tennessee 4-H. And thirdly, you're actually going to be the first group other than our local administration to know this. We're going to be the first program in the state of Tennessee to be a junior manners program. Not as many people are familiar with manners. That's minorities in agriculture, natural resources, and related sciences. I've worked very closely with the University of Tennessee at Martin Manners program, and we're going to be a junior manners program.
We're visiting with Chris Cherry. He's the FFA advisor here at Liberty Technology High School. Mr. Cherry, what are some of the classes you teach? I know you're the FFA advisor, but some of the classes you teach here at Liberty.
Okay. Now, I teach agri-science, which to relate that like English, it would be Ag 1, like English 1. I teach the introduction class, and in that class, I cover OSHA, safety, and all of those things to prepare our students to move on to the ag building with Mr. Dalton Wilson, who teaches all of our plant science classes. He teaches the principles of plant science and hydroculture class. In that class, he raises plants hydroponically without the use of soil. We're producing a lot of different things here at the beginning of the school year. He's getting those crops ready. They raise koi fish in greenhouse 3. And also that's their intro to plant science. His second level class is greenhouse management, where students prepare ornamental plants. And then his fourth level class is landscape and turf science, where students learn to landscape, engineering plans, and take care of landscaping. And then on the other side of the building, you have Miss Megan A. Well, she recently got married. She is now Miss Weaver. She teaches our animal science pathway. So her first class is small animal science in the ag building as a sophomore. In that class, she runs our grooming lab and a student-based business called Crusader Cuts.
And when you say grooming, the pet vets.
Yes, sir. Mainly dogs. You can make an appointment with them. Our students will groom your animal, all of the things, grooming, trimming nails, bathing. And then her third level class is large animal science. We do have a barn here on campus where students are learning animal handling, learning how to exhibit animals. I actually had a meeting this morning with our workforce development innovation directors. We're working on purchasing a truck to be able to allow our students to exhibit livestock. And her last level class is veterinary science, where students learn all of the different things. It's basically setting them up for a career as a vet tech or to go to college, major in animal science into vet school. And those students often compete in the FFA veterinary science competition.
We're visiting with Mr. Chris Cherry. He's the FFA advisor here at Liberty Technology High School. You mentioned veterinary science. What other careers or jobs are students here at Liberty Technology High School being prepared for when you think about these ag classes?
Well, actually, so many careers. I can't even begin to do an exhaustive list.
Just a few.
One of the things, of course, animal groomer, landscaper, especially in an urban area like Jackson, many people discredit how much money can be made in the landscaping industry, the turf grass industry. Here in a city where we have athletic fields, golf courses, turf grass management is actually a very lucrative degree field at the University of Tennessee at Martin. Also, you could leave here and go to one of the TCATs. We're actually dual enrolled with the Tennessee College of Applied Technology at Crump. Our students, some of those are graduating with the certificate as a farmer helper because we did some research, we didn't do some research. The Department of Agriculture did some research showing how we need more farm helpers, that students were actually becoming overqualified by having a bachelor's degree for some fields. But we're trying to set our students up to be college and career ready. So when a student leaves the agriculture program at Liberty, we want them to do whatever they choose. We want them to be university ready, community college ready, tech school ready, or to be able to go straight into the workforce.
When you think about these options and opportunities for students, and you've had the opportunity to work with some star students.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about two of the students we're going to meet during this episode.
Okay, you're going to have a couple of students of ours. You're going to have Zamarion Carter. He's serving as our chapter president for the 24-25 school year. Mm-hmm. He actually has hopes to one day be an agriculture teacher. He is wanting to follow in the footsteps of Mr. Wilson, our plant science teacher. So he's kind of thinking about college, looking at a couple of different choices right now, making some career plans. And then you have Miss Praezha Murphy, who's serving as our chapter vice president, and she's still working on a career field. One of the things she has enjoyed in FFA is our floral design competition. She's really enjoyed that one. And of course, here in the hub city, that could be a major career to lead to in floral design.
Yeah, because for all of the activities we have, particularly our major events like your gala or your teacher's banquet, we buy flowers. So that's certainly, you think about opportunities for students in the future. You're listening to For the District. It's the podcast for Jackson-Madison County Schools. After this commercial break, we're going to speak with these two students. But before we go to the break, tell us about the trip you all took recently to Nashville.
Okay. We recently attended in Lebanon at the Tennessee State Fair, the Tennessee FFA Ham Breakfast. At this event, it's an event to support the Tennessee FFA Foundation, who supports the Tennessee FFA Association. The foundation is our charitable wing of the organization, and the association is those actual high school members in those iconic blue jackets. And what this happens at this event is our legislators, our different supporters of this organization come together for students, and they help raise money for agricultural scholarships. And they auction off the state-winning youth and adult hams from the state fair. All of that money raised goes into those scholarship funds. Yesterday, our students were able to go and see the two hams this year brought $43,500 that will go into the scholarship fund. And we had planned, since we were already not going to be able to make it back before the end of the school day, to make a day of it. One of the things and one of the standards for my class is the political impact of agriculture, because so many things are affected by policy and agriculture, the food we eat. So I had contacted our state representative, Chris Todd, representing District 73, which is the majority of Madison County, and I had contacted our state senator, Ed Jackson of District 25. While Senator Jackson wasn't able to meet with us, he was meeting in the district. Representative or Chairman Todd was able to meet with us. He's actually serving as the chairman of the Agriculture and Natural Resources Committee in the Tennessee House. He was able to meet with us, talk with our students a little bit about his background, how he got involved, and we also toured the Capitol. What
do you hope the students take away from that trip, those interactions, and those conversations?
To be completely honest.
Sure. It's a podcast. Let's go right ahead.
To be completely honest, I want our students to be aware of the world outside of Jackson. I want them to be aware of things that are happening in the world that they're a part of. They're a part of whether they realize it or not. And I want them to grow up and be leaders. I want them to run for elected positions, run for the Board of Education, run for the County Commission, and there's no way to teach that other than just jumping in and experiencing it.
I think Dr. King said, our superintendent says so much, experience matters. Our chairman of the board, Pete Johnson, says the same thing, experience matters. I think looking at your impact here at the school in such a short amount of time, you're entering your second year.
Yes, sir.
The fact that experience matters. How long have you worked in education total?
I began working in education March of 2009.
How far back does your experience in FFA go, however?
Oh, that's a tricky question. My great-grandfather was a charter member of Future Farmers of Tennessee before Future Farmers of America existed. That was in Chester County. My whole family graduated from Chester County High School. My experience began, fall of 2000. I wanted to be enrolled in agriculture courses, and it was actually, I got my schedule and it wasn't on there, and I had to get my schedule changed because I had to be in an ag class to be an FFA, and I had actually considered attending private school, but the only reason I had stayed, because, FFA ag classes don't exist in private schools, and that's why it's so important that
the community knows about this.
Yes, sir. That's what a lot of people don't understand. When you start talking those different schools, you lose those iconic blue jackets.
Mr. Chris Cherry, he's the FFA advisor here at Liberty Tech. We're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, we're going to visit with two-star students and FFA officers here at Liberty. You're listening to For the District. It's the podcast for Jackson Madison County Schools on JJ 97.7 FM. When it comes to education, you want to make the most of your choice. Choosing the Jackson Madison County School System provides your child with a wide range of learning options. Our kindergarten through 8th grade schools provide a consistent community for students, while our cyber school option offers flexibility for parents who desire a homeschool platform with extracurricular supports. From early learning to early college and career pathways, families have a choice. Choose us. Tuition free. Jackson Madison County Schools. Welcome back to For the District. It's the podcast for Jackson Madison County Schools. I'm Greg Hammond, Chief of Public Information for JMCSS. We typically film and record this inside the studio, but we are on location this week at Liberty Technology High School. We visited with Mr. Chris Cherry during the first segment of this episode. Now we're going to hear from the students. Zamarion Carter is a senior at Liberty Technology High School and is a member, he's an officer in the FFA. Zamarion, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So, Zamarion, tell me about your experience in FFA. When did you join and why did you join?
My experience in FFA started in sophomore year. I met a teacher named Dalton Wilson, and he gave me a spreadsheet of jobs and careers. And the only ones that really stood out to me were the ones in ag. And so, being that I am a younger man, I didn't know what career I wanted to pick, but being shown and being coached through a career picking process really helped solidify my choice on wanting to do something ag-based, which led me to wanting to be active in the FFA.
Now, there are a lot of classes, career classes here at Liberty Technology High School. I think about the culinary class. It's just such a wonderful class here at Liberty. And there are others, but what, I guess, connected you? How did you find out that FFA was your place here at Liberty?
So funny enough, my first career class was culinary. And my second semester, it was a choice between culinary 2 or to try out agri-science. And I decided that I wanted to expand my career choices and have another career to choose from if I didn't have a full choice by the end of senior year. And so that led me into wanting to do agri-science, which is our first class for ag.
When you think about the projects you've completed over the last 2 years or so, what projects have been the most fun in terms of your agriculture and your learning?
I would say the biggest projects, if I can consider them projects, that I would say is the most fun is our greenhouse and our barn. We didn't have a barn a while ago, but we did have our dog grooming. If I could consider those our projects, those are by far my favorite. I love being active. I love doing active things, especially in our school.
You get to work with and around animals.
Yes, sir.
How cool is that?
It's the greatest thing.
So there have been horses on campus. Mm-hmm. There have been cows. I think goats. For chickens, raising chickens and hatching chickens. What, I guess, has been the most fun or most interesting in that regard, as far as the animals?
I would say the goats. Goats was the most interesting, learning about goats. And our goats, they kidded, which is them giving birth.
Okay.
We witnessed it. We helped them through, and they gave birth to their kids.
Yeah. So did you get to name them?
We did actually get to name them. We based their names off of Greek mythology.
Very cool. Very cool. We're also joined today by Praezha Murphy. Praezha is a member of the FFA here at Liberty Technology Magnet High School. In fact, she's not just a member, she's an officer. Sure. So Zamarion is the president of the FFA here at Liberty Technology High School. Praezha, what is your role?
I'm the vice president here at Liberty Tech.
Vice president?
Yes, sir.
You're a junior?
Yes, sir.
Zamarion is a senior?
Yes, sir.
Have you already started to think about assuming the role potentially next year?
Yes, sir.
Tell me what's that been like and if that makes you excited.
It does make me excited because I've been told I have votes already.
What is that? So what is that process like? Do your peers elect you, or does the teacher just put you in the spot? What has that kind of been like, Zamarion, Praezha, whoever wants to answer that question? What has that process been like?
Our officer picking process this year was a outside vote from other officers that Mr. Cherry had from state officers that he had in high school and stuff.
So you have to put together a resume?
We had to put together a resume, an interview. Oh, the interview was very stressful.
So wait a minute, Praezha. I'm looking at your facial expressions. Do you remember what that interview process was like?
Yes, sir. It was really scary for me.
Yeah.
We all had to do essays. We had to do like resume reports, answer questions.
And you were being questioned by people you didn't know.
Correct.
Which is great, really. I think some teachers call it productive struggle
Yes, sir.
because, once you graduate from high school, you will be interviewed for jobs by people you don't know. So
Right.
what did you learn from that experience being interviewed and being a candidate for an office here at Liberty Technology High School?
What did I learn?
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. But I learned to get over my fears of speaking.
So let
not
me
a good
ask you.
speaker.
So you're an officer in FFA, but FFA is not the only activity you participate here at Liberty. Tell us about that.
I am a member of Beta Club. I cheer.
So let's just stop there. So has your experience in FFA helped you at all in your leadership skills in any of those other areas?
Yes, sir. I became way more social
Yeah.
than I was before. Mr. Cherry helped me get into the program.
Yeah. What did you guys, how did you guys enjoy the trip to Middle Tennessee? Zamarion, I'll start with you. What was that like getting to visit the Capitol, getting to have conversations with elected officials and state leaders?
The trip was very, very, very fun. I'll be honest with you. Getting to meet our state representative, Chris Todd, and some other people that work out there in the Capitol was, like, I have to say, it was very fun and very informational. It felt like a much needed thing for us going into our me and my senior year, and my officers going into their junior year. Felt like being able to meet the people that we will have to work under in leadership roles, and the people that we'll have to vote for after school.
Now, Zamarion, you've been around longer, so I'll ask you this question. Mr. Cherry's been your teacher for 2 years, and I think for a lot of teachers who may be new to a campus, they would quote unquote take things slow, or I guess just take a while to get things going. It seems Mr. Cherry has been very good in using his experience in his context of FFA and using that experience to give you all more opportunities. Kind of put into words what it's been like to have Mr. Cherry here at Liberty.
Mr. Cherry's, his first year of being our advisor was a little slower because he was getting used to everything here. But the second year, everything jumped to overdrive. We started to be we started to do events more frequently, more club meetings, more competitions. We had more members. Mr. Cherry coming through, I would say that he took it slow, but that slow part maybe lasted about a semester and a half.
Yeah, Dr. King always says sometimes you have to go slow to move fast. And considering what you guys are already doing in this semester of the school year, I think it was the right decision. You're listening to For the District. It's the podcast for Jackson-Madison County Schools. We're visiting with students from Liberty Technology High School in the FFA program. They're learning all about agriculture and agricultural education. We're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, we'll have more with Zamarion Cotter and Praezha Murphy. They're officers in the FFA program here at Liberty Tech. And hey, we're also going to talk about some other clubs and organizations here at Liberty. Maybe give me a few predictions for a volleyball game or a football game or maybe something like that. You're listening to For the District. We'll be right back here on JJ 97.7 FM. Jackson-Madison County School System graduates are making a difference in our community and throughout the world. A 1986 graduate of Jackson Central Mary, Van Jones is nationally known for his work in media and criminal justice reform. Today, Van is a cable news network personality and a New York Times best-selling author. Yesterday and still today, JMCSS students are meeting the challenge and our graduates are making a difference. Choose us. Tuition-free. Jackson-Madison County Schools. Welcome back to For the District. It's the podcast for Jackson-Madison County Schools. This week, we are spotlighting the FFA program at Liberty Technology High School. These students are learning all about careers in agriculture. Earlier in the show, we visited with Mr. Chris Cherry. He's the FFA advisor here at Liberty. And now we're in our second segment or conversation with 2-star students here at Liberty Technology High School. Zamarion Carter is president of the Liberty Chapter of FFA, and Praezha Murphy is vice president. You two have earned your famed blue corduroy FFA jackets. Zamarion, how did you earn your jacket?
Being a prevalent member in our FFA for 3 years straight, and competing in events and showing our school spirit in FFA helped me earn the leadership role of president. Becoming the president is the reason why I have the jacket. The reason why I became a president is because of the leadership.
Why is leadership important, do you think?
In every job, in every career, in every facet of life, you have to lead something. Whether it's yourself, whether it's a coworker, whether it's a child, that you will always be coaching or leading someone or something.
And has FFA helped you develop these skills?
Yes, FFA has helped me develop my leadership skills. Speaking, public speaking, really, and really just the network helped me develop a better network.
And I have to ask, you've competed in a lot of competitions over the last 2 or 3 years. When you think about your experience in competitions, which competition comes to your mind first or most?
I would say my favorite competition, which is going to be parliamentary procedures, which is pretty much the first competition that we compete in as FFA members.
That's all about Robert's Rules of Order, procedures in a meeting, all about being a boss. How do you feel when you put on your jacket? How do you feel? How does it make you feel?
It makes you feel important. It makes you feel like you mean something. Being able to show off my school makes it seem and shows that us at Liberty actually have meaning. It makes me feel like I guess a spotlight for us, for a school that isn't shown in the spotlight as much as others. Being in FFA and being in a leadership role in FFA helps show us off.
We'll go to Praezha Murphy now.
Yes, sir.
Praezha, do you remember the competitions that you participated in that kind of helped, help you build a name for yourself in the FFA program?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me about any of those?
So one of my favorite ones is dairy judging.
Dairy judging?
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell me about that.
That is very difficult.
Okay, so are you drinking milk? What is this about?
You have to look at a cow and look at every part of that cow, and you could tell how good that cow is, and you have to rank it 1 through 4. Just by looking at it, watching it walk, how it reacts to the person that's
leading
in front. Yes. And
so what did you read a book? You watched videos? How did you learn this?
In class, we had after school practices and some in-class practices.
Did you ever imagine you'd be interested in a cow?
Not at all. No.
Mr. President, Zamarion Carter will give you the final word. What does being a crusader mean to you?
A crusader is a person who is career and college ready. A crusader is somebody who is prideful in everything that they do. A crusader is somebody that is ready for life. A crusader is somebody that is ready for life after high school.
And what is your goal after high school?
I want to become an agriculture teacher. I want to study at the University of Tennessee at Martin.
You've been listening to For the District. It's the podcast for Jackson-Madison County Schools. We want to thank Zamarion Carter, Chapter President of the Liberty FFA, and Praezha Murphy, Chapter Vice President of the Liberty FFA. We also like to thank Mr. Chris Cherry, the FFA Advisor here at Liberty Technology High School. We hope you have an excellent Sunday, a great week, and we will see you next time.